Have you ever looked down at your hands or caught your reflection in a window and wondered, when did these dark spots appear? It's a small thing, but it sneaks up on so many of us. I'll be the first to admit, there was a time when I glanced at my skin and felt a twinge of regret. Years spent gardening, sharing sunny afternoons with the grandkids, or just reading by the window, all seemed to leave little reminders scattered across my hands and cheeks. It's almost funny how those tiny brown spots seem to show up overnight, like uninvited guests at a dinner party. We laugh it off with friends. Maybe even joke about liver spots being a badge of experience. But deep down, it can sting just a bit. Here's the comforting part. You're not alone, and you don't have to resign yourself to feeling older than you are. There's a gentle, easy solution that countless women just like you have quietly discovered. And it doesn't involve expensive creams, harsh treatments, or endless trips to the dermatologist. What if I told you that the answer might already be in your kitchen? Yes, really. There's a simple remedy, backed by science and stories from everyday women, that can help those stubborn spots fade away, leaving your skin looking brighter and feeling smoother than it has in years. So tell me, what's your own story with these spots? Have you tried everything under the sun, or are you just starting to notice them now? You deserve to feel confident in your skin, at every age. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. Now, let's begin. 1. Understanding why age spots form. If you're like most of us, there's a moment, sometimes unexpected, when you notice a small brown spot blooming on the back of your hand or your cheekbone. Maybe you shrug it off at first. After all, we all expect a little wear and tear with age, right? But then you notice another and another. At some point, you catch yourself wondering, why do these spots show up now, when I've spent most of my life without them? Let's set the record straight. Age spots aren't a sign that you've done something wrong, nor are they some cruel trick nature plays on us as we get older. They're just a part of the complex, beautiful story your skin tells. A story written by decades of sunshine, laughter, and everyday life. But understanding why they appear, and why they seem to multiply after a certain age, can offer not only peace of mind but also practical hope for brighter, more even-toned skin ahead. The truth is, age spots, sometimes called liver spots or, more formally, solar lentigines, aren't really about your liver at all. They're about your skin and its remarkable ability to remember every afternoon spent gardening, every day you drove with the window down, and every summer vacation at the lake. Your skin is your body's first line of defense against the outside world, and it has a long memory for sunlight. From a scientific point of view, the story begins with cells called melanocytes. These tiny cells live near the bottom of your outer skin and are responsible for producing melanin, the pigment that gives your skin its color and shields it from the harmful effects of ultraviolet, UV, rays. When you were younger, your skin's melanin production was a well-oiled machine. After a day at the beach, you might have tanned evenly, and any sunburns faded quickly as your skin regenerated at a speedy pace. But as we age, everything in the body slows down a little, including the skin's ability to renew itself and repair the subtle damage left behind by years of sun exposure. Research from places like the Mayo Clinic has shown that after age 40, and especially after 60, your skin cell turnover rate, the pace at which your skin sheds old cells and brings new ones to the surface, can slow from about 28 days in your 20s to 60, 70, or even 84 days in your senior years. That means old, damaged cells hang around much longer, giving dark patches plenty of time to make their presence known. Here's where the magic and mischief of melanin comes in. Over the years, as your skin soaks up sunlight, whether it's the bright rays of a summer picnic or the filtered light through your living room window, melanocytes become overactive. They start producing more melanin in some areas than others, causing the pigment to clump together in small patches. At first, this process is invisible. You can't see the tiny changes happening beneath the surface. But eventually, as those pigment clumps grow and your skin cell turnover slows, the spots start to surface. It's a little like a photograph slowly developing in an old-fashioned darkroom. At first, there's nothing to see, just a blank page. But slowly, gradually, the image emerges, a memory made visible. Sometimes people are surprised to learn that age spots aren't just caused by beach vacations or mowing the lawn without sunscreen. UV exposure accumulates in unexpected ways. For example, Ruth Henderson, a retired teacher from Tampa, thought she'd done everything right. She wore sunscreen during her daily walks, always wore a hat, and avoided the midday sun. But after turning 65, she noticed new spots appearing on her hands and face every month. She was baffled, until she realized that her favorite morning ritual, sitting by the big kitchen window with her crossword and coffee, was quietly letting in enough UV rays to cause further pigment changes, even indoors. This story is more common than you'd think. While glass does block some UVB rays, it lets in UVA rays, which penetrate deeper into the skin and are a major cause of age spots. Even the blue light from electronic screens, like the tablet you use to video chat with family, can add to the slow march of skin changes, though it's less potent than sunlight. The lesson here isn't to hide away from the sun or fret over every moment spent in natural light. The joy of those sunny afternoons and the comfort of reading by the window are priceless. Rather, it's about awareness and gentle adaptation. Simple changes, like applying broad-spectrum sunscreen even when you're indoors, wearing lightweight gloves during long drives, or moving your favorite armchair out of direct sunlight. One of the most frustrating truths about age spots is how stubborn they can be. You might have tried a dozen lotions, creams, or treatments over the years, only to see little or no improvement. The reason often comes down to biology. Surface-level treatments can't always reach the deeper layers where melanin is clustered. When your skin's renewal process slows, the visible signs of past sun exposure linger far longer. But here's the hopeful part. Just as your skin remembers every bit of light and laughter, it can also respond to care and attention, at any age. It's never too late to make a difference. Recognizing the root causes of age spots can help you break free from the frustrating cycle of temporary fixes. When you pair effective prevention, like consistent sun protection and adjusting your environment, with the right at-home remedies, you empower yourself to see real changes. Another important truth is that age spots aren't only a cosmetic issue. For many women, they become a source of self-consciousness. Janet Williams, a grandmother of 5 from Phoenix, once confessed she avoided her bridge group for weeks because the new, dark patches on her cheeks made her feel old. She didn't want to answer questions or explain away the spots. She just wanted to feel like herself again. Janet's story is one of many. Age spots can subtly change how we see ourselves, how we dress, and even how we interact with the world. There's no shame in wanting to look as vibrant on the outside as you feel on the inside. It's easy to dismiss these feelings. After all, they're only spots, right? But anyone who's watched their reflection change over time knows the quiet ache of wanting your face and hands to reflect your inner vitality. The good news is that these feelings are valid, and you're not alone. Understanding the why behind age spots also gives you a sense of agency. Every time you choose to apply sunscreen, every time you pause to wear a sun hat, every time you take a small step to protect your skin, you're actively shaping your future self. It's not about erasing history or fighting against time. It's about honoring your journey and giving your skin the support it needs to glow a little brighter. Of course, not all age spots are created equal. Some are shallow and light, appearing almost overnight, while others are deeper, older, and more resistant to fading. Newer spots tend to respond faster to gentle treatments, while older, stubborn ones may take more time. This is why patience is key. Skin that spent decades building up pigment won't change overnight, but with consistency, it absolutely can change. It's also worth noting that not every dark spot is an age spot. Some skin changes can signal more serious health concerns, so it's always wise to keep an eye on any spots that change rapidly in size, shape, or color, or that start to itch or bleed. When in doubt, consult your doctor or dermatologist. But for the classic, flat, brown or gray spots that appear on sun-exposed areas as you get older, especially the backs of your hands, your face, shoulders, or arms, chances are you're seeing the quiet record of a lifetime lived in the light. So, what's the takeaway? Age spots are natural, understandable, and, most importantly, manageable. They are a visible reminder of the full, rich lives we lead. But you don't have to let them define how you feel about yourself today or tomorrow. With a little understanding, some practical steps, and a dose of self-compassion, you can support your skin to look and feel its very best. The next time you notice a new spot, take a deep breath. Remember, it's just another page in your story, and this chapter is yours to write. 2. The science behind castor oil. If there's one thing you learn after a certain age, it's that everyone has a remedy to recommend. Whether you're at a Sunday potluck, chatting over coffee after church, or standing in line at the pharmacy, someone is bound to lean in and share their grandmother's secret for smoother skin or their cousin's tip for fading those stubborn brown spots. Most of us have heard the promises. This cream guarantees overnight results. That serum costs as much as a new pair of shoes but works like magic. But how often do these miracle cures live up to the hype? For most women I know, the answer is rarely. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. That's why, when someone mentions castor oil as a miracle for fading age spots, it's perfectly natural to raise an eyebrow. For many, castor oil is a childhood memory, something your mother gave you on a spoon for an upset stomach, or a home remedy tucked away in the back of a cabinet, thick and sticky and forgotten. Could something so old-fashioned make a difference for skin that's seen more than 6 decades of sunshine, birthdays, and life's daily challenges? To answer that, it helps to understand what makes castor oil different from the other dozens of oils and creams gathering dust in your bathroom cabinet. The story begins not with a marketing campaign or fancy packaging, but with a humble seed from the castor bean plant, a plant that has been used in healing traditions around the world for thousands of years. While some natural remedies come and go like fads, castor oil has quietly stood the test of time. But what's truly remarkable about castor oil isn't just its history. It's the science that backs up its gentle power, especially for mature skin. The secret ingredient is something called ricinoleic acid. If you've never heard the term, you're not alone. Ricinoleic acid is a special kind of fatty acid that makes up nearly 90% of pure castor oil. Unlike the fats found in olive or coconut oil, ricinoleic acid has a unique structure that gives it some almost magical properties. Most notably, its ability to seep deep beneath the skin's surface. Let's pause for a moment and imagine your skin as a garden. Over the years, the soil, your skin's outer layers, gets compacted, a little dry, and maybe even a bit rocky. Most lotions and creams are like a quick sprinkle from a watering can, barely reaching the roots, evaporating before they make much difference. Castor oil, thanks to ricinoleic acid, is more like a slow, nourishing rain. It can move past the hardened surface, traveling deep down to the roots, bringing moisture and healing right where it's needed most. This deep penetration is the key. Research from respected institutions like Harvard Medical School has found that ricinoleic acid can move through the skin's protective barriers up to 10 times more effectively than most common oils. This means it's not just sitting on top, making your hands feel greasy, but is reaching the deeper layers where pigment cells hide and where age spots have been forming for years. But the benefits don't stop there. Ricinoleic acid is also a powerful anti-inflammatory. If your skin is feeling sensitive, tender, or easily irritated, common issues for those of us over 60, this matters. Instead of causing more redness or discomfort, castor oil calms and soothes, reducing the inflammation that can make brown spots stand out even more. Another gift from this unassuming oil is how it supports your skin's natural repair process. As we grow older, our skin loses some of its natural resilience. Cell turnover slows, healing takes longer, and scars or spots that would have faded in weeks now linger for months. Castor oil gently encourages healthy cell renewal. helping your body shed those old, pigment-heavy cells and bring fresh, brighter skin to the surface. This doesn't just mean lighter spots. It often means softer, more supple skin overall. Yet, like with any home remedy, not all castor oil is created equal. The kind you choose makes a world of difference, especially for mature, sensitive skin. You see, most castor oils you find in drugstores are mass-produced. Many are extracted using harsh chemicals or high heat, which can destroy the very compounds that make castor oil effective. Worse yet, they might contain additives or preservatives, ingredients that can clog pores or even make pigmentation worse. That's why the experts always recommend cold-pressed, hexane-free, organic castor oil. It may cost a few dollars more, but you're investing in purity and potency. Cold pressing is a gentle extraction method that preserves all those beneficial fatty acids while avoiding chemical residues that could irritate your skin. Think of it as the difference between fresh squeezed orange juice and a can of concentrate. One is alive with nutrients, the other, well, not so much. Take the story of David Thompson from Oregon. 4 months, he dutifully applied castor oil every night, waiting for the magic to happen. When he saw no improvement, he almost gave up, until he learned about the importance of using the right oil. Switching to an organic, cold-pressed version from a trusted supplier made all the difference. Within 2 weeks, David noticed his spots beginning to fade and his skin feeling softer than it had in years. And then there's the matter of storage. You wouldn't leave good olive oil sitting in a hot, sunny window, and the same goes for castor oil. Light and heat can break down its therapeutic compounds, so keep your bottle in a cool, dark place. And don't forget to replace it every 6 months. Freshness matters when it comes to natural skincare. Some people wonder if they'll react badly to castor oil, especially if their skin has become more delicate with age. The good news is that clinical studies published in the International Journal of Toxicology have shown that, when used properly, castor oil is very well tolerated, even by mature or sensitive skin. Its anti-inflammatory properties make it less likely to irritate most over-the-counter creams. But here's a word of caution: more isn't always better. Using poor-quality oil, or oils with hidden additives, can clog pores, cause inflammation, or even worsen age spots. As with many things in life, quality and care go a long way. So, if you've ever been tempted to dismiss castor oil as just another old wives' tale, you're not alone. But sometimes, the simplest, most unassuming remedies hold secrets worth discovering. Castor oil isn't about erasing your history or chasing perfection. It's about honoring your skin, giving it what it needs to do what it does best: heal, renew, and glow. The science behind castor oil is a testament to the wisdom of generations past and the promise of modern research. It's gentle enough for the most delicate skin, yet powerful enough to bring change where you thought none was possible. As you explore this remedy, remember, your skin has a lifetime of memories to celebrate, and now, with a little help from nature, you have one more way to care for it. So, the next time you see that humble bottle on the store shelf or tucked into a friend's recommendation, remember it's more than just an old-fashioned cure. It's a gift of science and tradition, perfectly suited for the skin and the spirit of women who've lived, loved, and shone in the sun for many beautiful years. 3. Essential preparation steps. There's a saying that's made its way around quilting circles, church kitchens, and back porch book clubs for generations: success is in the prep. Whether you're baking a pie, planting a spring garden, or setting the table for Sunday dinner, the little things you do beforehand make all the difference in how things turn out. And the same is true for caring for your skin, especially when it comes to treating those stubborn age spots. If you've ever tried a new skin remedy, be it a fancy cream from the department store or a recipe whispered between friends, you know the anticipation. Maybe you wake up the next morning expecting to see a miracle. But more often than not, the results are underwhelming, and disappointment creeps in. You might think, maybe this just doesn't work for me, or my skin is too old for anything to make a real difference now. But the truth, as it turns out, is far more hopeful. The key to seeing results isn't always in the remedy itself, but in the way you prepare your skin before you even begin. Mature skin, especially after 60, is a little like antique furniture. It's strong and beautiful, but years of use have left layers that need to be gently cared for. Dust, oils, and time-worn polish build up over the years. If you don't prep the surface, no matter how wonderful the polish, it simply can't reach the wood beneath. Your skin is the same. Over the decades, the process of shedding old, dead skin cells, what doctors call cell turnover, has slowed down considerably. What used to take 4 weeks when you were 20 might now take 12. That means, instead of sloughing off regularly, dead skin cells linger on the surface, forming an invisible but stubborn barrier. Add to that all the little bits of lotion, sunscreen, makeup, or even air pollution that settle on your skin each day, and it's easy to see why new treatments sometimes seem to just sit there, never sinking in, never making a real difference. The first essential step, then, is cleansing. But don't worry, no harsh scrubs or burning astringents are required. The best thing you can do for your skin at this stage in life is to treat it gently, like a cherished family heirloom. Begin with a mild, fragrance-free soap or creamy cleanser, something that doesn't strip your skin of the little moisture it has. Warm, not hot, water works best. Massage the cleanser into your skin with gentle, circular motions, paying special attention to the areas where age spots tend to cluster. The backs of your hands, your cheeks, and your temples. Let this be a few moments of self-care, a quiet ritual that signals to your skin, I'm here for you. After cleansing comes exfoliation, but again, gentle is the name of the game. Forget gritty scrubs or rough brushes. Instead, use a soft washcloth or an exfoliating pad designed for sensitive skin. The goal is not to scour away layers, but to softly lift away the dead cells and surface debris that block the path for healing. Think of it as dusting your grandmother's china, not scrubbing the kitchen floor. For most people, once or twice a week is plenty. If your skin feels a little smoother and a little fresher after, you're on the right track. Carol Martinez, who spent her career as a librarian in Denver, shared how she struggled with age spots for months, dutifully applying castor oil every night with no luck. I thought maybe I was just too old for anything to help, she admitted, but then I read about exfoliating first, and it was like a light bulb moment. After a week, I could see my skin drinking in the oil instead of just sitting there on top. That's when things started to change. For Carol, and so many women, the simple act of gentle exfoliation made all the difference between disappointment and delight. Once your skin is clean and freshly exfoliated, the next step is just as important: drying and allowing your skin's natural moisture balance to return. After you rinse away the cleanser, gently pat, never rub, your skin dry with a soft towel. It's tempting to rush straight to the next step, but pause here. Wait 2 to 3 minutes. This gives your skin time to settle, so the outer layer isn't too damp or too tight. Skin that's slightly moist, but not wet, absorbs treatment oils much more efficiently. It's one of those tiny details that, over time, add up to big results. Another thing many women don't realize is that the window of opportunity after prepping your skin is surprisingly short. Freshly cleaned and exfoliated skin is like a blank canvas, open and receptive, but that state doesn't last long. Within 10 to 15 minutes, natural oils start to rebuild, and the invisible barriers begin to form again. That's why timing matters. Apply your treatment as soon as possible after prepping, so your skin is ready to soak up every drop of goodness. It's also important to consider what products you use before your treatment. Modern skincare routines often involve layers of serums, moisturizers, and creams. But many of these contain silicones, waxes, or mineral oils, ingredients that can leave behind invisible films that block even the best remedies from penetrating deeply. For your castor oil paste, or any deep treatment, try to keep things simple. For a week or two, skip the extras. You might be surprised at how much more effective your main remedy becomes. Preparation isn't only about the skin, it's about mindset, too. Instead of seeing this ritual as a chore, try embracing it as an act of kindness toward yourself. Our mothers and grandmothers may not have had all the science, but they understood the power of small, consistent habits. There's something quietly powerful about setting aside 5 minutes each evening to care for your skin, to look in the mirror, and to appreciate the life etched into every smile line and sunspot. Mistakes can happen. Maybe you try an exfoliant that's too harsh, use hot water instead of warm, or forget to dry your skin completely before applying oil. That's okay. With gentle remedies, there's always room to adjust. Just remember, harsh scrubbing or chemical exfoliants are best avoided, especially on mature skin, as they can irritate and even worsen the very pigmentation you want to fade. Softness, patience, and consistency are your best friends here. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Some women wonder about prepping their skin in the morning versus at night. While both can work, many find that evening routines fit more naturally into their lives. Not only is there less rush, but the skin repairs itself while you sleep, making nighttime an ideal window for deep treatments. Think of it as setting the stage before a restful night's sleep, letting the ingredients work their quiet magic as you dream. There's also the question of how often to prep. The answer is personal. Some women find a rhythm of exfoliating twice a week, while others do best with just once. Listen to your skin. If it feels raw or irritated, dial it back. If it feels dull or rough, you might need a little more gentle exfoliation. Over time, you'll learn what works best for you. Preparation is not about perfection. It's about creating the right conditions for healing to happen. As the days and weeks go by, you may begin to notice small changes, a little more glow, a touch more softness, maybe even a lightening of those persistent brown spots. It's a quiet, steady progress, the kind that feels earned and real. For many, this gentle ritual becomes a treasured part of the day, a chance to reconnect with yourself, to slow down, to honor the body that has carried you through so much. It's a reminder that you are still worthy of care and that your skin deserves attention and respect, no matter its age or history. In the end, essential preparation steps are about much more than just skin. They're about making space for self-love, for patience, for hope. They're a promise that change, real, visible, lasting change, begins with the little things. And when you give yourself that care, you open the door to healing, not just on the surface, but deep down where it matters most. 4. The Secret Absorption Enhancer. Sometimes, the difference between just okay and wow is the tiniest little tweak, a pinch of salt in a cookie recipe, the exact right amount of sunlight on a tomato vine, or a gentle word at just the right moment. When it comes to skin care, especially for those of us tackling age spots and uneven skin tone, that secret ingredient can mean the world. After all, how many times have we dutifully applied creams or oils, followed the instructions, and still watched those stubborn brown spots cling to our skin like old memories we can't quite shake off? It's enough to make even the most optimistic among us wonder if anything truly works. But what if the solution isn't more expensive creams or stronger treatments, but a small, clever enhancement to what you're already doing? Sometimes, the simplest things are the most powerful, and in this case, that secret enhancer turns out to be something most of us already have in our kitchen: a little pinch of high-quality sea salt. At first, it might sound odd: sea salt in skincare? Isn't that just for seasoning our soup or keeping the ice cream cold on a summer day? But, as with so many humble ingredients, sea salt holds quiet magic when used the right way. Let's take a moment to understand why. The skin is a remarkable barrier, evolved to protect us from the outside world, but that also means it does a very good job of keeping most things out, including the nourishing oils and creams we wish would reach the deeper layers. As we age, this barrier doesn't thin out. With years of cell buildup and the body's natural desire to shield itself, mature skin can become even more resistant to penetration. That's why so many treatments sit on the surface, offering hope, but not much actual change. Here's where science and common sense join hands. Research published in respected dermatology journals has shown that certain minerals, magnesium, calcium, potassium, found in unprocessed sea salt, help the skin temporarily open microscopic pathways. These micropathways are like secret doors, letting nourishing compounds pass through more easily without causing irritation or long-term damage. The effect is gentle and short-lived, just enough to help your chosen treatment, like castor oil, get to where it's needed most. You can almost picture it, a tiny army of salt crystals, working quietly to sweep aside the stubborn guards at the gates, opening up a passage for healing to reach the heart of the problem. Unlike synthetic penetration enhancers used in many modern cosmetics, which can be harsh and disruptive, sea salt works in harmony with your skin's natural rhythm, bringing along its own soothing and reparative minerals. But not all salt is created equal. The everyday table salt we sprinkle on our eggs is stripped of minerals and often mixed with additives to keep it from clumping. Fine for cooking, but not so great for your delicate facial skin. The secret is to use a fine-grained, mineral-rich sea salt, the kind you'd find in a health food store or high-end grocery aisle. Its tiny grains dissolve easily, offering gentle exfoliation without scratching or inflaming the skin. For many women, adding just a pinch of this special salt to their castor oil paste has made a difference they never expected. The first time I tried it myself, I was skeptical. After all, I'd been let down by miracle claims before. But within a week, I noticed my skin not only looked a touch brighter but felt softer, as if it were finally drinking in the nourishment I'd been offering for months. Let's get practical. How do you use this enhancer safely? The answer is simple: moderation and care. Mix about 1 teaspoon of cold-pressed, organic castor oil with just a pinch, no more than 1/4 teaspoon, of fine sea salt. The paste should feel slightly gritty, not abrasive, and should glide easily over your skin. Before you go all in, it's always wise to test a small amount on a less visible area, like the inside of your wrist, just to be sure your skin agrees with the new mix. Apply this blend to the spots you wish to treat, using soft, circular motions. Don't rush. Imagine you're coaxing the oil and minerals deep into the skin, rather than scrubbing them across the surface. The sensation might surprise you, a gentle tingling, perhaps, or a sense of warmth as blood flow increases and the pores temporarily open. These are signs that the salt is doing its quiet work. Leave the paste on overnight, covering the area with a thin cotton cloth or glove if you wish, and rinse gently with warm water in the morning. As with any new routine, consistency is more important than intensity. Too much salt can cause redness or irritation, especially on thinner or more sensitive areas, so if you feel any discomfort, use less next time or increase the amount of castor oil to dilute the mixture. This is about gentle encouragement, not force. Something is empowering about taking this small extra step, especially when it leads to real results. Janet Williams, whose journey we heard earlier, had tried countless store-bought treatments before giving up hope. But after a friend insisted she add a bit of sea salt to her nightly oil, Janet found herself, slowly but surely, watching the brown spots on her hands and cheeks begin to fade. "I felt like I had a secret weapon," she laughed. "It was the first time in years that someone complimented my skin." Why does this work so well for mature skin? As we grow older, our skin needs more support, not just in moisture, but in breaking down the barriers that time and experience have built up. The minerals in sea salt don't just open the doors, they nourish and calm inflammation, reducing the redness and irritation that often accompany both age spots and their many failed remedies. There's a beautiful metaphor here. Sometimes, to heal the parts of ourselves that feel stuck or resistant, we don't need a whole new routine or a heavy-handed approach. We just need a tiny nudge, a little enhancement to help us absorb the goodness that's already available. In skincare, as in life, it's these gentle, thoughtful additions, a pinch of salt, a word of encouragement, a moment of patience, that make all the difference. The act of preparing your treatment at home also brings a sense of control and creativity. It's a ritual that reconnects you with your body, your senses, and the belief that change is possible at any age. No, a single application won't make you look 20 again, and it won't erase the stories your skin tells. But night after night, with a little salt and a lot of heart, you'll see progress that feels honest and earned. Remember, quality matters, with salt just as much as with oil. Always choose the purest, finest grained salt you can find, and store it in a cool, dry place. Avoid any blends with added fragrances or colorings. Your skin deserves the real thing. If you're someone who likes to keep things simple, the good news is that this method takes just moments to prepare. No fancy gadgets, no complicated steps, just a humble bowl, a bottle of oil, and a pinch of nature's most ancient mineral. And if you find yourself smiling at the sight of your hands, noticing a gradual brightness or a new softness to your skin, you'll know you've discovered a secret worth sharing. So the next time you're standing in your kitchen, reaching for the sea salt, remember that sometimes the best solutions are the ones hidden in plain sight. With patience, care, and a sprinkle of this everyday magic, you give your skin the chance to soak up every bit of healing you offer. And maybe, just maybe, you'll see yourself in a new, more radiant light. 5. Perfect application technique. There's a saying among seasoned gardeners, it's not just the seed you plant, but how you tend it that determines what will grow. The same wisdom holds for so much in life, raising a family, baking a loaf of bread, or keeping a friendship strong over the years. And, as it turns out, it also applies to how you care for your skin, especially when you're hoping to fade away those stubborn age spots with your homemade castor oil and sea salt paste. You might think that after all the research, all the gentle cleansing, and careful mixing, you'd be done. But there's one more step that makes all the difference: the way you apply the remedy to your skin. It's easy to overlook, but the method is just as important as the ingredients. Just like watering a rose bush, too much, too fast, and you drown the roots. Too little, and the plant withers. The right technique, applied with patience and a loving hand, can turn even the most ordinary effort into something that truly works. Let's imagine you're standing in your bathroom, soft lamp glow reflecting off the mirror, your castor oil paste ready in its little dish. The quiet of the evening is settling in, and you've set aside these few minutes just for yourself. It's a simple act, but there's something deeply comforting about caring for your skin, especially in a world that sometimes seems to rush past the wisdom and experience you've gathered over the years. The secret, as clinical research confirms, is in how you touch and tend your skin. Most people, when trying a topical treatment, make the same mistake. They scoop out a little bit and slap it on, rubbing it quickly, then head off to bed, never giving the remedy a real chance to sink in. But your skin is alive, responsive, and especially as we age, a little more delicate than it once was. It needs gentle encouragement to soak up all that nourishing goodness. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Start by warming the paste ever so slightly. You can do this simply by rubbing a small amount between your palms for a few seconds. This gentle warmth helps the oil relax and flow, and it also makes your skin more receptive. If you've ever slipped into a pair of sun-warmed sheets after hanging them on the clothesline, you know how comfort can melt away resistance. It's the same with your skin. A little warmth invites the healing to begin. Next, use your fingertips to scoop up a small dab of the paste and begin applying it to the age spots or uneven areas. Here's where the real technique comes in. Don't rush. Let each motion be slow and circular, as if you're drawing gentle spirals of care right into your skin. Scientists have found that these small, circular movements help treatments penetrate more deeply, encouraging blood flow and gently breaking up the clusters of melanin that cause dark spots. It's a method that's both practical and almost meditative, a moment to slow down, breathe, and truly connect with your own body. Pressing too hard or scrubbing back and forth might seem like you're working the remedy in, but in truth, that can just push the treatment around or even cause irritation. Mature skin especially thrives on a light touch, one that coaxes rather than demands. If you're ever in doubt, think of the way you'd stroke a grandchild's hair, or the softness with which you'd handle a cherished old photograph. That's the level of care your skin deserves. Once you've gently massaged the paste into your spots for about a minute, 60 to 90 seconds is ideal. Leave a thin layer sitting on top, almost like a comforting blanket. Now comes a step many overlook, covering the treated area. If you're applying the paste to your hands, slip on a pair of thin cotton gloves. If it's your face, use a soft cotton cloth or even a gentle sleep mask. This simple barrier does two things. It prevents the paste from rubbing off on your sheets during the night, and it helps trap a bit of your body's warmth, increasing absorption as you sleep. Why overnight? Your body does its most profound repair work while you're resting. Blood flow to the skin increases, and cell renewal speeds up in the darkness and quiet of sleep. By letting your treatment stay on for 6 to 8 hours, you give all those powerful natural ingredients their best chance to break down pigment, support new cell growth, and soothe inflammation. If you've ever noticed a cut or bruise looks better in the morning, you've seen this nightly healing in action. But let's be honest, there are times when routines slip. Maybe you forget one evening, or you wash the paste off too soon, worried about mess or discomfort. That's okay. Progress comes from consistency, not perfection. The women who see the most change aren't those who never miss a night. They're the ones who keep returning to the ritual week after week, giving their skin the steady support it needs to change and heal. One woman, Eleanor Jackson from Michigan, had nearly given up after months of using castor oil without much to show for it. When she finally learned to warm the oil, apply it in slow, gentle circles, and leave it on overnight, she saw more improvement in 2 weeks than she had in the previous 3 months. Her hands looked brighter. Her confidence grew. It wasn't magic, but it felt like a kind of miracle. Remember, the details matter. If the paste feels too gritty, add a bit more oil. If you ever experience irritation, use a thinner layer or apply less frequently. Some people's skin needs a little extra patience, especially in dry winter months or after a day spent in the sun. Always listen to what your body is telling you. No one knows your skin better than you. For many, this nightly application becomes more than a step toward brighter skin. It's a ritual of self-acceptance and hope. There's a quiet power in tending to yourself with intention, in recognizing that you deserve these small acts of care, no matter your age or how many spots have shown up along the way. And if the results come slowly, remember this. Fading age spots isn't about erasing your history or chasing youth, but about feeling comfortable and confident in your skin. The best technique in the world can't turn back the clock, but it can help you look in the mirror each morning and see a little more of the light that's always been there. Sometimes hiding, but never gone. So tonight, as you stand by your sink or sit at your vanity, take a moment to thank your skin for all it's weathered. Warm the paste, move your fingers in gentle circles, cover up, and drift off knowing you're doing something good for yourself. It's never too late to begin, and you're never too old for a little bit of TLC. In the end, the perfect application isn't about precision or rules. It's about presence. It's about the love and care you offer yourself, the way you let hope, science, and tradition blend in a nightly act of renewal. And that, more than anything, is what will make your efforts blossom into real, lasting change. And so, as you finish this video and look down at your own hands or catch your reflection in a quiet moment, I hope you carry something more than just a new remedy or another tip. I hope you feel a sense of possibility and gentle hope. Because the truth is, every line, every spot, every mark on your skin is a testament to a life richly lived. Days spent laughing in the sun, arms wrapped around grandchildren, hands busy with work and care. Those age spots are only one chapter in your story, not the whole book. You have learned today that the journey to brighter, more even skin doesn't need to be expensive, overwhelming, or out of reach. It starts with understanding, a little preparation, and the simple, healing touch of nature, right there in your own home. What matters most isn't perfection or looking decades younger. It's about feeling comfortable, confident, and radiant in the skin you're in right now. So give yourself the grace to try something new. Let each nightly ritual be a reminder that self-care is always worth your time, no matter your age. If you've discovered a tip that helps or a story that resonates, I invite you to share it below. You never know whose day you might brighten. After all, you deserve to wake up each morning feeling hopeful, and to remember that, at every stage, you are beautiful and enough.